Hi everybody, this is Diane. As you can see, I have the weather journals in front of me, and that's what I'm going to be working on. I don't know if I'm going to be doing anything worth making a video about, and isn't that a great way to keep your interest? But maybe. I just haven't been doing anything creative too much on videos lately. I've been showing you things and doing a little bit, but anyway, I am going to be working on the pages of the third journal today. And I just thought I'll just turn the camera on, and if I decide that it's something that you might be interested in, I will put it on my YouTube channel. So I worked on pages for this one yesterday. I think these pages go in this book, because they're slightly different dimensions. This one's a little taller and narrower than this one. So I did the pages for this one. Today I'm going to be working on these pages, but I also finished the covers, putting the covers together. So that's what that looks like. And that's what that looks like. I do want to go ahead and put this pocket in there. I think the other ones all have their pockets. It's a vintage library pocket that I collaged on. No, it's not even I made the pocket myself. It's been so long since I made the pockets that I forgot what I did. We are having a thunderstorm this morning. Again, perfect weather for working on these journals. I think it is passing. It was pretty loud. If I had started this video sooner, you would have heard the thunder. But it's supposed to be, the rain is supposed to be done by noon, and it's about 10. I think it's going to be done before noon. I can hear the thunder moving further away, and the rain is decreasing. But I do love a rainy day. It got very dark in the house, so hopefully you'll be able to see. Hopefully my light is good enough. I'm looking for a label to put here. Maybe I'll just use one of these because it's blue. Okay, so now this cover is done, and the pages are done for now. After I finish the pages for this one, I'll see what materials I have left that I might want to add into each of the journals. So I'm going to set this one aside. This was the first one I did. I just love this cover. It's my favorite, and I think everybody else loves it too. And I put the paper doll on the inside. So I'll set that aside, and we're just going to concentrate on the pages for this journal. All right, now I'm going to make a pocket to put on the front here. I'm going to take one of these from the Mrs. Coggs Stormy Weather set, which is where these images came from. I'm just going to take one of those pieces and decorate the front of this with it. It's like the title page of your journal, I guess. I hope you're all having a great day. I woke up knowing that today I don't have grandkids to take care of and errands to run. Yesterday morning I had a lot of errands I had to run. Took up my day and almost until lunchtime. But today I get to just work. This evening I have a group to go to, but during the day, I get to just stay home and work on my journals. We have a group going on at church. It just started last Tuesday, and it's going to go, I think, for 13 weeks. And my son is actually leading the group. And it is called Grief Share. And it's a DVD series, and then there's discussion time with questions. Zoom in a little bit afterwards. And even though it's been 5 years, I just feel stuck in many ways. So I decided I would attend, and it just is nice for me that my son is leading the group, because I feel more comfortable with him being there. But of course other people are there without having the family member there leading the group. But we had quite a few there. I'm going to put some blue on here also to help make it look like thunderstormy weather. Anyway, I'm not going to get into a big discussion about that. It's just something that I am praying is going to help me get unstuck in my grief process. So I have that to do tonight, but in the meantime, I'm just going to try to have a great day working in my craft room. It is something I love doing. I'm looking for paper to make a pocket. Something I want to use to make a pocket that will be good on that. That piece might work. And I am going to sew this, but I'm going to not sew it. I'm not going to do it now because I'm not sitting at my sewing machine. So I will just clip it to that page and then go to my sewing machine later. I don't want it to be quite that deep. It is going to hold one of my envelope pieces that I made. And I'll take my big circle punch, I think this is 2.5 inches, and just make a shallow cut. I don't want to make it deep, just a little bit, but it's a nice wide thumb pull, just for something different. I usually use I don't know, 1.5 or 1 inch punch to do that. And I'm going to ink the edges. And then of course we'll add something to the front of this pocket, which I will also stitch to it. So everything will just be paper clipped to this page, and I'll sew it all later. I am doing a lot of sewing in these journals, and I'm using black thread, and I think it's adding some nice interest. Alright, so I want something little to put on here. I've got some small pieces in my top drawer there. So that's just a little quote from a children's book. See the rain come down on the birds in the tree. They like the rain. I like it too. I think that would be cute there. Put that there. Let's use this one. Aren't we so blessed to have all of the craft tools that we have? I have my choice of scissors. I have my choice of glues, papers. I have so much stuff. But I love being surrounded by all this stuff, as long as I can keep it somewhat neat and orderly. Can you hear the thunder? And another one of these little labels. I didn't do any prep for this, really. It's just I am following what I did for the first journal that I made. So I kind of have an idea of what I'm doing, but I didn't do prep work like selecting the pockets and inking things. But I do have ephemera already made. So this will go inside the pocket. I think it'll fit. It's kind of a small pocket, which is, it's good that I'm going to sew it because that'll take up less space. But I think that'll fit in there. This pocket could be slightly bigger, but this was the size that I had. I'm just going to glue this down before it gets lost. And I also have a book page in here. So let's see if I have a page I can put in there. So this one is a cute one. I didn't want to glue it down to something because both sides refer to the rain. So maybe I'll fold this and put it inside the pocket. Just for something cute, and then you can do what you want to with it if you purchase this journal. So I have all of the pieces gathered together for this page, and I will have to do some sewing. And I'm going to stamp on this page. I'm just using the same 3 stamps. They came from the same set. It's just different sizes of those swirly designs that kind of look like wind blowing. And on this page, I want to put a big pocket. These are oriented the wrong way. I had other things I wanted to do with these. Oh, here's some. Rain and Shine. This would be perfect. This is the title page for the book. For the actual book that I am making these pages for. Oh, I gotta get a wet wipe. My glue is dripping out of the bottle. I want to clean that up. And put the cap back on. Now I have some silver cardstock that I got at Hobby Lobby, and it is very shiny. But that is what I am using to matte things on. I have gray, just a matte gray cardstock also, but I've been using the silver for a lot of the pieces that I am putting a matte on. Let's see if this will fit on the page. When I put the matte on it, that's going to make it a little bit too big, I think. So let's trim it down a little more. Okay. So I think this is going to create a glare, but this is the really shiny silver matte paper cardstock that I'm using. So I'm going to glue this down, and then I will sew the pocket to the page. I will trim the mat after I glue this down to it. And this is quite slick because it's so shiny. So I have to make sure I let that dry before I handle it too much, or I'm going to slide that paper around. It doesn't take long for this glue to dry, so it oozed out a bit. So I'll trim around that, and then I will just glue it or sew it down as a pocket. I don't have anything in those pockets yet. I'm going to fill some of the pockets after I have you know, done all of the pages so that I know what I have available. So that'll get sewed down there. And I just used some pieces from this little kit that I had with some bright colors, because I'm using some gloomy colors for a journal about stormy weather. But oh, this is the piece I was looking at to make a pocket. I'll use that for the next signature. So I want to add some color. Just little pops of color. So I have these bits, and they're all scattered over here. What a mess I have here. So let's pick out something, and then we should be able to cut that mat. Let's see, like this blue circle came from this collection of things. I also cut some pieces. Oh, how about this one? That's cute. Just to add some color. Guess we'll go ahead and cut this and then decide where we want to put that. Of course, I won't glue it down until after I sew the piece down, so don't have to worry about that quite yet. This was pretty inexpensive, this silver cardstock, so I know that I am using a large piece of it just to have this little tiny rim show, but I paid $3 for the pack of, I think, 25 sheets, so I think that's okay. So I could have this behind, and it looks like, oh yes, it looks like a rainbow, because it looks like their storm is over too, just like my storm is over, and maybe there's a rainbow. So yeah, I'm going to glue that down, and then I can sew this over it. Should I ink around that? Don't want it to look too grungy because it's a rainbow. And I could cut that in half, so I'd have another piece for something else. Yeah, that's less than half that I'm using. I hope you're enjoying these weather journals. I am. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. And I'll just paper clip this to the edge of the page, and it will be ready for my sewing machine. Moving on to the next page. This will require some sewing also. But it's really fun. Very simple and very fun. And all it is selecting one of the Mrs. Coggs images and sewing it on as a pocket. This is a blue dyed paper. I like that one. And I will include a couple of these long skinny tags in there, a blue one and a cream colored one. So that'll have to be sewn. And I think that's all I need to do to this page. Oh, I'm going to stamp right here. Put the rest of this rainbow in my drawer with the little things so I don't lose it. And you know how I am about losing things. In case you wondered about this stamp set, it's an old Stampin' Up! Set. And I don't know the name of it because I put it in this box with some other pieces. I don't know that. Oh, does it say on it? No, it doesn't. But it is from 2007. It's not available in their catalog. I don't know how you would search for it on eBay or anything like that because I don't know the name of it. I've already added the trimmings to the edges of the music paper, but on this side, this is what I had planned for these pieces here. Just because I have all these pages from books and I want to use them, so I decided to cover part of the music page with some of the music pages or poems that I have from the books. So this song is called The Wind. I think that the thunder has gone away now. I'm not hearing it anymore, and it doesn't sound like it's raining anymore. It might be raining, just not coming down so hard that I can hear it. And that's all I have to do to that page. You can collage or add things that you can journal on to the music, but I'm going to leave that alone for you. Now this page is one that I did the stamping and then put gesso over it. And but you can journal on this. And this page is going to have another pocket. I already have a piece that I matted. Where did it go? It already has the silver mat on it. Did I use it? Oh, here it is. So I'm going to glue, no, that's a little bit too small. I want a slightly wider one. Like maybe that. See, that's wider so it can hold a bigger tag. Okay. So we're going to get out the silver again. I hope I have brought enough in here. Maybe I didn't. I think I ran out. Okay, I have to go grab another piece of... I just found some more pieces. I have to go grab another sheet of my silver cardstock. I'll be right back. There it is. It's in the other room. I have, in my office, I have a paper organizer thingy. And I know this is glary. This I'm just going to glue to the page. I'm not going to sew it. I might get started on Christmas journals when I finish these. What do you think about that? Because I want to get them done early so that, you know, they can be purchased early. Because I want to make sure you have them in your hands before December, if you want one. And also, I'm going to put leftovers in kits. And I have so much stuff. I've already set aside a whole bunch that I know I'm going to put in kits, but I know there will be more. I have these tags that I cut with my Cricut a long time ago. I have a whole stack of them in my stash. So that's going to go in there. So that's why I want to get the journals done in plenty of time, so I can get those kits put together and in my shop, so you have time to make Christmas journals if that's what you want to do. So I think that I will do that next. I'm going to take the Mrs. Cog. I only had 3 words that were appropriate for this journal. And she doesn't have a kit of words just for weather. But these were in the autumn words kit. So I had set aside raincoat and windy, and I don't know what the third one was. It might have been rain or something like that, but just one for each of the 3 journals that I'm making. And again, it's going to be matted with silver. Just take a scrap piece here. I'll let that dry because I think I put quite a lot of glue on that. So when that dries, I will just glue that up there. What else do I have to do to this page? I'm going to make a tuck spot over here with one of the poems that I have. That one's kind of big. Sorry for my arm getting in your way. Oh, here's another poem that might work. I think that one's better. Or that one. I probably need them both for another signature. Oh, sorry. Turn my phone off. That was just spam. All right. I'll use this one. And this one I'm going to put onto a piece of colored cardstock. I cut this out of the book by hand, so I am evening up the edges because I don't cut straight, especially there's no line to cut on here, so I try my hardest, but I cannot cut it straight. So I'm going to glue this to colored cardstock, and then that will be sewn to the page as a tuck spot. And I will have a tag to put inside the tuck spot, which is already made, and a label up there. So this one is going to be matted with gray, just a matte gray instead of the shiny silver. And then I'm going to put it on a pretty cardstock, like a watercolor look cardstock. Just a little bit of a border, because it always looks so much better to have a border of something around it rather than just the plain white page. Look at these pretty cardstock pieces that I have that look like watercolor, so that's going to be behind it. And that helps add some color also. Let's cut this while we have it. I think this is dry now. I will punch the corners. And just glue that down. And I will probably ink around this tag, but I'm not going to do it right now. Okay, back to this one. I want this to be a larger mat around it so that we can get more of that pretty color. And this is perforated right here, so I want to trim that so we don't see the perforated edge. Other than that, I think I'll leave it that width. Make sure that's not too big, and it's not. I'm going to ink around this. I wish I could have a setup where my camera was looking down on my table instead of it's sitting to my left. So you're looking at always looking at my work from an angle. But I use a camera, like a Canon camera. I don't use my phone. And even if I use my phone, I don't have a good way to have a camera sitting, mounted so that it would be looking down at my desk. So this is the best I can do. That looks very pretty. There's a little bit of yellow from what I did here. The yellow kind of shone through, and some of the blue too. So it helps having that yellow there to have this there to kind of play off each other. Because I do want pops of color, but I want them to make some sense too. I don't want them to just jump out at you and be like, whoa, what's that doing there? I want it to make sense. I usually think pretty carefully about things like that, even though it might not seem like I do, because I do things pretty quickly. I make my decisions pretty quickly. I'm going to put one of my tags that I made with the little flat back pearls that represent raindrops. That will go behind there. Let's see if the other pictures, oh yes, let's use the other one, because this is about the wind, and that certainly looks like a windy day there. So we use that, and I'm going to put a label at the top of the page. This is one of the labels that came in my kit, the September kit from your, oh gosh, I forgot the name of it. Anyway, they sent me a kit for September, and I did a video on it. that will get sewn on as a tuck spot. What is next? Okay, so this is a piece of ledger, and it was a wide ledger. So I cut it to the right height, but I did not cut anything off the width of it. I just folded it. And I have some beautiful lace pieces, little triangles, and these came from that big box of lace that I got recently at the flea market. And I'm just going to add a little piece to the top of each of those flaps, just for a little pretty accent. And I folded them outward this time instead of inward. I usually have things folded in. And I have one of these flashcards, and that will get sewn to one of these flaps like that. Yeah, I'll ink it. I had gotten this pretty large set of small colored flashcards that they were hand drawn, but then copied. I got them from eBay, I think, a long time ago. But when I got them, I sorted through them and took out ones that would go with some of the collections that I had for themed journals, and put them with them so I wouldn't forget about them. I also sold some of them, but it's handy to have them all sorted into their collections so that otherwise I wouldn't have thought to look there for them. So there's that one. On this, what do I have to do? I have to add a tab, which I already punched. This is from that thick textured wallpaper that I have, and it was quite difficult to punch that out. But I made a tab, and I'm going to just add it to the edge of this page, but I'm going to stamp on the page first. I already have some pom-pom trim sewn to the edge. I'll use my Fabri-Tac. This is quite thick, like I said, so I'm going to have to really press it and hold it. And I even used a paper clip to hold one of them down when I glued it and had to go do something else, just to make sure it didn't pop up before it dried. So press it down. And it looks like it's staying pretty good, but I'm going to put this paper clip on it just to hold it down. And that's all I have to do to that page. I want to make sure there's lots of room for writing. Okay, on this page, I'm going to add, we're almost done with the signature. I didn't know if I'd be able to do the whole signature in one video. Of course, I'll have to do the sewing. I wanted a landscape image for this so I can make a pocket, and that's a good one. And I will add a flashcard in there. Even though this is a rainy day and this says snow, it's going in there. And I'll put a label up there again. So this is just going to get sewn down like it is. There is room to mat it, so maybe I'll do that. but I think I'll just use the gray instead of the metallic. Yeah, and that'll give me a slightly bigger pocket. Not that I need it, this is small enough, but you might want to put something in there and have a little more room. This has a light colored edge around it, at the top at least, and some of the sides. So I'm going to ink that. And that will get sewn. This is one of the printable labels from Roxy Creations. Printed on very thin paper, which is fine because it's going to be glued down, but it's very flimsy as I'm inking it. Still using too much glue, apparently. Okay, is that all I need to do? Just a stamp right there. Just flip through here, make sure I did everything on the back side. I think we did it all as we went. Okay. Got them layered together. There we go. Okay, so this signature is all put together except for the sewing. And I will be doing more of the same with slight variations on the other two signatures. So probably the next video will be the final flip through of the 3 journals. I thank you for watching and for crafting with me today. I hope you were crafting along with me, and I hope that you will come back to see the finished version of these journals. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Have a creative day today. Bye-bye.